Hi guys, Ricky and Mike here, and today we are going to be talking about the future of Futurama. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good, Ricky. How you doing, sir?
I'm
How you
doing
doing?
well.
Good. I've been doing some. I've been going to therapy for the past couple of weeks, and
Okay.
yeah.
How's
Speaking
that
of,
going?
it's going pretty good. Apparently my therapist says that my life is full of misunderstanding. I'm throughout my life. I've things that I've kind of misunderstood, and
Okay.
so we kind of went back to my childhood, and then we talked about a couple incidents I had in children's church when I was a kid.
Okay.
It was it's like every Sunday, a pastor after Sunday school would give us, an orange and a big cookie.
Okay.
So as a little boy, I once lied and took 2 oranges, and the pastor found out, and he told me, I mustn't lie because God is watching me. So I go, okay. So next Sunday, I ended up taking 2 cookies, and I lied about it. And then the pastor asked, why did I do that? I told the pastor, I thought the guy was only watching the oranges. So,
It's the Speaking Nerdy podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
and my good friend and compadre, Mr. Ricky Pope.
Hey, nerds, this is David with Tatooine Sons, a pop culture podcast. We believe that pop culture is the mythology of our generation. There is a story, it is written on our souls, and that all of these myths speak to that story. And that is why every Tuesday I talk about Star Wars and Marvel and DC and Lord of the Rings and whatever nerdy things we can think of with my 2 sons, Sam and Nate. It is a 30 to 45 minute celebration of all the weirdness that we love so much. Basically, Mom said we couldn't talk about it at the kitchen table anymore, so we decided to start a podcast. We hope you'll check it out. It's on every podcast app out there. Tatooine Sons. That's Tatooine, SONS.
Oranges and cookies.
Eat them fast.
Anyway.
I was waiting for a
What?
cookie in the hand is worth 2 oranges in a bush or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
I
I don't know what I was waiting for.
you know, normally don't. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
This is been
Are you excited about talking about Futurama today?
I am. It's real interesting. I had a chance to read a lot of the reviews from other people, what they thought, and I have my own opinion, but we'll get to that later.
Awesome.
And so I am excited about talking about Futurama. It's one of my nearest and dear and favorite animations. So, we'll talk about that.
Very cool. Well, shall we do some nerdy news?
Oh, I think we should do some nerdy news.
It's time for the nerdy happenings of the week. Well, in nerdy news, let me let me start us off with some box office news. Box office news is very similar to last week. Barbie and Oppenheimer take first and second place once again. 2 weeks in a row.
We're living in a strange world when Barbie and Oppenheimer is in the same sentence.
Yep. Barbie added another 93 million domestically this weekend, and now has a worldwide total of over 774 million since opening.
I would have never guessed that,
I knew it would do well. Likely it's going to hit $1 billion. Oppenheimer added another 46 million domestically, for a total of $400 million worldwide as of this weekend,
Oh.
and even more now, I'm sure, over the week. But I would expect that one's going to cross the $500 million mark.
Yeah.
New Disney release, Haunted Mansion,
Mm-hmm.
live action movie, came in a distant third at only $24 million domestically. With last week being the largest box office weekend in over 4 years, this is technically the second highest box office in almost a year.
Really?
So kind of two records there, back to back, and they both are because of Barbie and Oppenheimer, because of Barbenheimer.
Well, Barbieheimer. Yeah, I mean, there's so much correlation there between the two. So,
yep. So it's a little unclear as to whether this is a true sign of theaters recovering, or if this is going to just be a blip on the radar and we'll be back to, empty theaters in the near future. But with the strike going on, who knows what is going to happen over the next few months.
There's a lot going on, and I think you have a little bit of news on that, don't you?
Just a little. Apparently, the AMPTP, which is the American Motion Picture and Television Producers Group, they're the people negotiating with the Writers Guild and the Actors Guild. Okay. Apparently, they have reached out to the Writers Guild, and we release our episode on Friday. So as of today, if you're listening, release day, they should be having a meeting. Now, it's a little unclear as to whether that meeting is actual negotiations, or if that meeting is a, hey, we want to meet, and then we want to talk about what we need to do to restart negotiations. So a little unclear of what's going to happen, but hopefully, next week we'll have more information on all of that. But, speaking of the Writers Guild and the Actors Guild, Sony, it looks like Sony is the first one to officially say they are delaying some films. Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse has been removed from the spring 2024 release schedule with no new scheduled date as at least not since we've recorded. I haven't seen anything yet. The Gran Turismo movie, also a Sony picture, has been pushed back to the last weekend of August, so the studio can kind of reorganize advertising events since no actors will be available. And Kraven the Hunter has been moved back almost 1 year, so it's no longer going to release this year. They're saying August 30th, 2024 now.
Interesting. Haven't they started production on it already, or is?
Oh, it's done. It's
done.
What I mean.
It was supposed to be released. So
it was supposed to be released in just a few weeks, and now they're pushing it back to next year.
I mean, is it connected to any other film that they're trying to do? I mean, kind of like a whole Marvel thing where they try to, they don't want to release something before something else. I can't think of anything.
Well, my only thought is they don't want to try to promote this one without the actors.
Oh, okay.
That's gotcha. Really the only reason I can think of to delay this particular film, if it's truly complete and if it's ready, since it was supposed to release in just like a month and a half or something.
Okay, well that makes sense.
But that's kind of all I have right now. I know you had some stuff from Star Wars.
Yes, apparently Donald Glover and his brother has decided they want to take on the series that was talked about probably, I don't know, about 6 months ago, if not further, about the Lando series. We can't.
They're going to be writing, correct?
They're going to be writing, collaborating with one another, but you had a little interesting tidbit that you mentioned to me. The previous writer.
So apparently this has been like they've actively been working on it before the strike for like you said, like 6 months, but nobody it wasn't announced until like this past week. And the previous writer found out through social media that he was no longer writing the film.
Ouch. It's kind of an ouch.
So it's a little unclear as to whether or not they took his original script and they are reworking it, or if they scrapped his original script and started over from scratch. I was not able to locate information on that, but all of that comes from the Hollywood Reporter, so it's pretty reliable information. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Glover reprise the role.
I do too. I think it's going to be really awesome. And personally, I liked Donald Glover, and I think it's a great idea. I don't know his brother very well, but I think it's a good idea that they kind of drive in the writing seat for this, because
I think
so. Donald Glover has a real feel for Lando, and I think I'm looking forward to it.
They've been working on other projects together, so it's not it won't be their first writing outage.
That's right. I think I'm not for sure if they. I know right now his biggest show right now is Atlanta, and I know that's a show.
I think they helped write that together.
Okay. Apparently, I can't. What is the Justin Simmerman?
Seaman. Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. But apparently he was the original writer on the show.
But apparently they said last summer he reportedly left to focus on directing Haunted Mansion. So,
yes. So
that's kind of
such a weird deal. Like he was writing the Lando script.
Yeah.
And he needed to step away for a while so he could focus on completing Haunted Mansion, which just released this past weekend.
Yeah.
And did, 24 million at the box office, not a huge number.
No.
But he had all expectations of coming back to the script and finishing.
Yeah.
But Disney apparently said, you're working on this other project. Don't worry about it. We'll just get somebody else. Well, what they really did was they said, hey, why don't you guys take over this script and write it? And we're not going to tell the other guy.
You gotta love it. I mean, hey,
Disney. Somebody in the communications department needs to get on that deal.
Yeah, I hear there's having a lot of other issues as well, but on streaming services, NASA decided, hey, they have their own streaming services with their own content, and it's free. It's not a subscription. It's free.
Free streaming service. What exactly do you stream on the NASA channel?
Well, there's not a whole lot of information on that. They do have documentaries as well as they have some different type of missions that they have videos of. It's just I don't know. I don't know how different it is from their YouTube channel. I know they have NASA has a YouTube channel, but apparently this is supposed to be it's not supposed to have any commercials, no ads.
Okay.
From my understanding, it'll be a collection of original video series and live coverage for NASA missions. And so
now live coverage of NASA missions from NASA could be actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Or extremely boring. I'm not sure which.
I don't know either. I don't know.
Like SpaceX launch, this last SpaceX launch almost had like color commentary going on.
I know. It's almost
like hype men doing the play by play.
It's funny. We lived in a world where watching a rocket blast off into space is like watching golf. It's really we've come so far. Being
when you and I were kids, it was the science teacher would roll the TV cart in so we could all watch the exciting space shuttle launches.
Yeah.
Because they happened so rarely. And now it's just like, oh, hey, SpaceX launched again.
Yeah. Yeah. SpaceX, don't get me started with that. I'm waiting for that satellite to go across my house. So yeah. So, and also finally, speaking of, the actors and the writers, that are concerned about what streaming services and what Hollywood, studios are doing, I came across this article. It says WandaVision background actor says actors had digital replicas created without additional payment. We've talked about this from a previous show, and I, a lot of anxiety is a lot of these new actors, people who are trying to get their feet in the door. And of course, part of it is
trying to get their SAG card. Yep.
That's right. So apparently the union rate for background actors is currently $187 per day. Now, that seems about right. I'm trying to see here. She says she reports that they had, see here, Disney Plus, MCU Universe, blah, 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 says they actually had the cast, and this is from WandaVision, they had the cast go into a certain area, and she said actors had their faces and body scanned and digital replicas created of their likeness. She added they were not given any compensation for having her likeness scanned and replicated, nor does she have any idea how it will be used. They talked about, which is interesting. He said, all of us can stand up, and I'm not going to get into all that, but anyhow, from what I understand is, if you look through here, and we talked about this last time, there's so many, and I'm sure that this is part of SAG, a lot of their issues, I'm sure that they're, and, I'm sure this is something that's also on the table too. We talked about streaming services as far as compensation, but this is another area too. And, with AIs and actors and people being able to step in, that's not actually Mark Hamill, but someone who looks like Mark Hamill. And guess what? We can make him look like Luke Skywalker. That there's a lot there that could go awry. So
anyway. I don't know how all that's going to play out. I mean, I think about it and I think that is, it's horrible for the actors, no doubt.
Yeah.
But I also think like big crowd scenes have been digital for a long time.
Yeah.
If we get this body scans, the large crowd scenes can be better.
Can be.
But I mean, I'm just not sure. I'm unclear as to how they will use it in a effective way that they aren't already just using digital models that are not scanned of somebody.
Now, I mean? Now, background actors can't be just anybody. They have to be part of the union, correct? It
depends. A lot of actors will start out as background actors before they get their SAG card because they haven't worked on a big enough production. They don't have all of the, all the credentials to get their SAG. And I don't know all the ins and outs. I should have somebody on for my other podcast to talk about how you actually get, SAG eligible. I have some friends who are SAG eligible. They're not actually part of the union, but they've done enough work on the right kind of projects that if they wanted to, they could go get their union card.
Yeah.
But as soon as they do, then they have to follow all the union rules.
Yeah.
So the sweet spot for people outside of the major studios and outside of the major hubs like Atlanta or California, if you live outside those areas, the sweet spot is to be SAG eligible, but don't get your card. That way you can do pretty decently sized things that aren't necessarily union gigs and get paid decently for where you live.
Yeah, I mean,
it's super complicated though.
I've seen a lot of people by the bus stop that could get SAG, licenses, because there's that or they need a belt, one of the two. But
that's a whole different kind of SAG.
That's a whole different SAG. I don't have anything. Is there anything else we have on that? Or anything else?
I don't have anything else on nerdy news.
Well, I mean, we go from nerdy news to the other kind of news. So let's take a jab at the stupid news.
It's the weird and stupid news with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
Enjoy a little beverage here first. Let's see. That's good. Hold on a minute. We should do a whole show. We should do that. My slurm. We do that for the whole show. We probably get more listeners if we just did this the whole time. Oh my goodness, man! Take a run for the border. That's right. Taco Bell faces lawsuit claiming false advertising of the amount of filling.
The amount of filling. Okay.
Yeah. Apparently, this is a big deal right now. A New York resident filed a class action lawsuit against Taco Bell on Monday, seeking at least $5 million for alleged false advertising.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did he test this?
Apparently, the class action lawsuit seeks to include other Taco Bell consumers disappointed with their meal. And the lawsuit claims that Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. It's Taco Bell. You're going to be disappointed with your meal.
And plus 4 hours later, you're going to be disappointed too. So, that's
disappointed in the smallest room of the house.
Exactly. What happens when William Shatner has Taco Bell. That's right.
Oh my gosh.
You don't want that. That's not good.
No.
That's not good at all. But anyway, for example, they said, the lawsuit claims that Taco Bell's Crunchwrap and Mexican pizza products, those, right? Of course. They do not include as much beef and other ingredients as shown in their advertisement.
Oh.
So this is where he's coming now. This is where he's coming from. He said,
so it's not like it says it's going to weigh this many grams and it doesn't. It's that the picture looks like this, but the food looks like that.
Exactly.
In reality.
Exactly. He's saying, for example, the man claims that the Mexican pizza he purchased did not appear to have the similar amount of beef and bean fillings. The lawsuit also features side-by-side photos comparing Taco Bell's advertisement photos to the items that has received. Let's take a look. And for those of you who can't, well, you need to watch our audio version. Now, this is a Mexican pizza advertised. It's the good one.
Okay.
See?
Okay.
And this is the one that we received. See, there's a kind of discrepancy between the two.
Okay. Now, there's more of a discrepancy here than simply the amount of filling. There's also the discrepancy of the good one. Show it again.
Yes, we'll get the
show the good one again.
Nice.
Looks nice and crispy.
It does. It looks nice.
And now show the actual one.
There we go.
That looks soggy and damp.
Yes, it does. Like a wet diaper. The lawsuit talks about, and also it's not only that, but we talked about the Crunchwrap as well. There's a comparison with that too. This is a advertised Crunchwrap Supreme. Looks really tasty.
Yeah.
And this is the one you actually receive.
It's a little flat.
It's a little flat. Yeah, it's not exactly the version of the advertised version, which looks tasty. I would buy one of those.
It does look tasty,
but compared to the Crunchwrap, where that's a no go.
Now, I will say,
yes,
I would rather eat the real one,
yes,
than the photo one.
Really?
Yes, although it looks super tasty.
It looks tasty.
It looks tasty.
Yes.
It is often, just because I read up on these kind of things.
Oh, do you now?
It is often not reality.
No, it's not, huh?
I mean, oftentimes stringy cheese, like pizza, you see this. Okay.
I'm following.
Usually it's glue. It's not actually cheese.
I see what you're saying. It's
so I would much rather eat the actual item versus the one in the picture, because oftentimes the one in the picture is not actually food.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and are you surprised that Taco Bell has not responded to the accusations? So anyway, I'm not. So, well, you know what you get when you run. Yeah. So just be sure when you're going through the drive-through, you see these photos. Remember, just like when you're driving with your side view mirror, things may seem closer than they appear. So, same thing. Things may look better than they appear. So
this is the dating profile version of food.
Exactly. It's
the dating Tinder profile. Yes. The Tinder profile looks one way, but when you arrive for the date, it's not quite what you signed up for.
Yeah. I don't know how many women said that about me. But, hey. We had glamour shots back in the day. That's what they did. But so anyway.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Well, speaking of franchise and fast food restaurant, one lucky person will receive a free Subway sandwich for life as part of a restaurant campaign to find their biggest fan, as long as the person commits to legally changing their name to Subway. I know.
So if you legally change your name to Subway, they will give you a Subway. They will give you sandwiches for life,
up to $50,000.
So not actually for life.
I mean, it depends. They said
I guess it depends on how much your sandwich is.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. They said by entering the contest, fans must agree that if they are selected as winners, they will legally change their first name to Subway. According to the rules, the winners will receive $750 to cover the cost of the legally changing of their names and $50,000 in Subway gift certificates.
Oh my gosh.
This sounds like an episode of Community. Have you ever seen Community? Anyway,
so it's not that if I run down and change my name, I'll get $50,000.
No, Subway. It's a contest.
It's that if I win the contest,
yes,
I have to change my name in order to collect the money.
That's right. Now, you're thinking to yourself, what if I'm not, the winner, where they do have runners up? The runners up will have an exclusive stay alongside Jarrett Fogel at the Federal Corrections Institution in Englewood, Colorado, where they always eat fresh, among other things. And that is your stupid news.
This has been the Weird and Stupid News with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling.
You see how that other guy's looking at Jarrett holding that Subway sandwich?
I see that. This is your Photoshop work again.
I'm not going to say anything. So
pretty good job.
Well, I can't take credit for. I stole it.
Oh, you stole that one. Okay.
I was in a hurry. I was going to make my own, and I thought, okay, let's go ahead. I was in the middle of doing my own, and I thought, I don't have a whole lot of time today. Let's do what we always do. Let's steal it.
Well, there's that.
That's right. Just like a cookie or an orange. But
callbacks.
So hey, what are we talking about now? What's this show is all about?
we are going to be talking about Futurama.
Rama, and that's what I'm talking about. Oh yeah,
Fight my shiny metal ass.
that's right. That's right.
It looks like I left the Hulu Rama off.
Oh, Hulu Rama.
Did you see the logo?
Yes, I did when it was spinning around, and
when it was spinning around, it said Hulu
yeah.
Rama, and then
I like it because they're not afraid to do pot shots against.
Oh my god!
Against the streaming service that brought them back, Hulu.
Yes, Hulu.
I love it.
Hulu monthly office space, $1,299. What does that say? $699 with commercials.
With commercials, yes, yes.
Oh
man,
this show is so self-aware. So
yes, it is.
Should we do a spoiler alert? I mean, it's Futurama and it's super weird, but should we go ahead and do the spoiler alert?
I guess so. I just hate for people to get all upset for no reason, but let's go ahead and do it for the people. Let them know. Okay, so anyway.
So that's your spoiler alert.
There you go. If you needed one, there it is. But
oh my goodness.
I mean, this Futurama has they've come back from the dead how many times? I mean, seriously.
Is this the third or fourth time? And okay, so this is it's so self-aware. They even make a pot shot at themselves about that as well.
Exactly.
They've rebooted this show 3-4 times now.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, I mean,
no, they make the comment. He's on the last season, and Bender goes, "Which last season?" They've rebooted it like it's had like 3 or 4 last seasons.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Yeah,
it's so great to have the full original cast.
We were really concerned about the cast.
Yeah.
The voice actor who does Bender, there was a chance that he
Billy
was not
West.
going to. No, not Billy West.
John DiMaggio.
Oh yeah,
DiMaggio.
I always want to say
John
Joe
DiMaggio.
DiMaggio, but yeah, John DiMaggio. Yeah, so great to have the entire cast back. From my understanding, they signed up for 20 more episodes, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, and that is also kind of an in joke on the show.
Yeah,
when Leela and Bender go to the Hulu headquarters, they make a comment that they want a contract for 20 more episodes with an option for maybe a movie or 20 more. So yes, 20 episodes. And I have read online that there's rumors that there could be 20 more, a total of 40 eventually. But it sounds like we're going to get 10 this time, and we will get 10 more later. I'm not sure how soon. So maybe this is season 11 and season 12.
Okay. I know they're calling this 11, the current one, and I guess the next one would be 12. I'm excited about it. I'll just say up front, I was reading a lot of different critics.
Mm-hmm.
Roger Ebert actually wrote a review on it.
Really?
He said, it was a really good review. It was, which I thought was interesting coming from him. Some people, the thing is, we only had 2 episodes, but I felt like it, honestly, this is how you have to look at it. Let's say that you watched, up to 10, you watched everything up to season 10, and 11 just followed right after it without any time apart. For me, it would have felt like it just, of course, for some of the jokes and stuff, but it felt like Futurama. I didn't feel like it was missing anything. I didn't think, they were, they self-aware. They were addressing the issues from the break of time. I think one thing that will challenge some people who have not seen the other 10, because there's a lot of callbacks from the 10, a lot of callbacks.
I was going to say, that's one of my favorite things about the way they did this.
Yeah.
Not only did they pick up right where they left off, where we see Professor Farnsworth show up, and we have old Fry and old Leela, and we talked about this on a previous show, that we really wanted them to pick up right here, and not to just ignore everything that went in the past. So they pick right up right there, and all the other things that are relevant that have happened in the past are still relevant in this episode. Like, they want to bring back all my circuits.
Exactly.
Well, in previous series, Calculon, the star of the show, died and went to robot hell.
Yes.
So in order to bring the show back, they had to get Calculon to come back to life.
Yeah.
And at the very end of the last episode where we saw Calculon, he had gone to robot hell and he was annoying the robot devil.
Yes.
So when they call the robot devil to get Calculon back, he's like, absolutely. Send him. So
they rocket him up, didn't they?
Yes. So it's just one of those things where if they bring something up, they're gonna live like it exactly what happened in the last time we saw that.
Yeah, it's it's very much fan service.
Oh yes,
at least for these first two episodes, very fan service. At least episode 1 is, but I can't see them not referring to previous episodes, or especially if they're bringing back certain characters.
There's supposed to be a Christmas episode.
Oh, there's great!
Robot Santa is going to be here.
Robot Santa.
So evil Robot Santa will be here at some time in the very near future. But there are lots of things like that are relevant to what's going on in the show. Skipping on to episode 2, we get a reprise of the birthing ceremony.
That's right. Yeah.
And it was supposed to be 10 years later. They were supposed 10 or 20 years later. They're supposed to come back and the kids would be all grown, and now they are. And so, we had Kif giving birth, and now Kif has kids.
Yeah. So, 10 years later. Yes.
So they're not leaving these things behind.
No, they're not.
And I just love that.
I think it's awesome. Again, I think it's a gift for the fans. Someone, and like I said, it's fascinating if they're going to try how they're going to bring in, or if they even care to bring in new viewers or not. I'm sure they want new viewers, but
I'm sure they do.
But it's almost as if there is a a lot of golden nuggets there. But the first was, let's go to the main thing. Okay, we've up till now, when streaming first came out, binging was the thing.
Oh yeah,
binging was the thing. And then as time went on, streaming service realized that our new content, if we do it weekly like it used to be on broadcast TV, that we can probably keep our subscribers longer. Yeah. We know that with Disney, The Mandalorian, and most people, after The Mandalorian was over with, they discontinued their subscription.
Yes.
So in that now, and usually I'm okay with that, but for some reason I really wanted to binge Futurama. I really did, because it was just not enough for me.
I did too. And one of the things that I think is so humorous is that their first episode is all about binging. On a show that you can't binge the new episodes because they're going to come out weekly.
Well, you were talking about how, and I saw and I understood why you misunderstood. You were talking about, okay, we got 4 episodes we can talk about. Well, if you go on there, it says, there's like, but if you look at
the picture,
you see
for
the
4
picture,
episodes,
but then it says this little, it says upcoming.
It tells you what the next 2 episodes after these 2 are going to be.
Because I was excited. I was going to click on it, and I went, "Oh man!" And they're doing that more and more with. I know Hulu's doing that more and more.
Yeah.
I wanted to binge it. I wanted to binge watch the show, but I do understand why streaming services are doing this. Man, but because think about it. I mean, how many I've binged the first 10 seasons. I binge watched it. I don't know how many times, like 5 times the series. So, and I love it because that the tone changes when we left Fox. We made fun of Fox on Comedy, Central. And then
they made fun of Fox when they were on Fox.
Yes, exactly. Fox on Fox, Fox on Comedy Central. And I forget, I mean, I don't know how many times they've had to go to different places. Adult Swim.
Yeah.
So anyway, good times. But this is, I really enjoy it. I like how they continued the story. I was afraid that apparently, Fry and Leela, they're still a couple, which I kind of like that they did that.
I was happy. I was afraid if they jumped back, they would suddenly forget that they were a thing, that they had been a couple for decades. And they don't exactly address being a couple for decades, but it's apparent that they're still a thing. They're still
exactly.
So I was really pleased with that.
I am too.
One of the other things now this is something I don't recall if this was a big thing, but I enjoyed it on this episode, especially the first episode.
Yeah.
There were lots of little weird Easter eggs that they weren't like direct reference, like they would reference something weird. The Futurama version.
Yes.
Like so the premise is that Fry is going to binge watch every show possible that you can watch.
Yeah.
And he's going to take all this time. And did you notice on the TV there are all these fake shows?
Yeah.
So I have a few of them here. Shatner's Creek.
Yes.
The Friends Reunion. Let's see. Truth Busters. Let's see. Is that there's some of these that are just weird. Say No to the Overalls. America Lacks Talent. What's some Better Call Cthulhu. Star Trek the original reboot.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
But there's just some strange things.
Crane Aliens Anatomy. I like that one too.
Yep.
Head Lasso. I like this. Yes. Yeah. Blog Burgers.
Yep. Blob's Burgers. Head Lasso. The Scary Mirror, which is a reference to Black Mirror.
Always Sunny on Mercury. I like that one. Yeah, it's greenish. Based off of the show Blackish.
That's How funny. I Met Your Smizmar.
Oh, man.
Slurm Dog Millionaire.
Yes, I love that.
So, I mean, I'm sure those kind of things were all blended into the original series from time to time. There were so many of them in this first episode.
Yeah.
That it was fun to kind of pause. CSI. Oh, I didn't see this one. CSI SETI Alpha 5. Because
exactly.
All the CSIs. So,
yes.
My goodness. Anyway. But just crazy things that I did really enjoy about this episode were just those little strange little Easter eggs that weren't necessarily callbacks to the original series, but were more of just, hey, we have all these little things we can put in, so let's do it. Speaking of things they could put in so they could do it, I did not notice this because I wouldn't have noticed it, but somebody took time to figure this out. So there's a picture of the writer's room for all my circuits.
Yeah.
Well, so there's like 5 writers in there. 2 of them are heads. The 3 of them are real people. So if you go find photos of the writer's room for Futurama, they look like these 5 people.
Oh, that's funny.
They took time to draw versions of these people. In fact, there's one girl that's like, she's got like a black t-shirt and some bluish tennis shoes and some yellow pants.
Yeah.
If you go find her profile picture, that's her outfit.
Oh, that's funny.
So
that is really funny.
There's a guy in the writer's room that's like, he looks like he's dead and he's got like pink hair. Well, he does actually have pink hair. Little things like that I think are great about this show.
Yeah.
They just spend so much time putting all the weirdness in and making it, kind of fun to try to keep up with.
And it's kind of funny. They throw in some stuff in the beginning. We get to see President Nixon again.
Oh, yes. President Nixon.
Yes. Charleston Chew. Woo. And,
and they reference, like, they keep up with the time. So the date, it's actually 3023.
Yes, exactly.
Because the show started in 2000 and it was the year 3000. So they've just continued that process.
There you go.
I love those little things.
Oh, I do too. You have, did we see, did we see the,
yes, there is a scene with them, with the 2 announcers.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Oh, I know what it is. It's at the very end of the first episode.
Yeah.
And Fry is, speaking of Nixon, Fry is he's like speaking before Congress or something about binge watching, and you shouldn't binge watch more than 10 episodes in a row. But the news announcers are they're reporting on that.
Gotcha.
And they say, that this is happening, and then it cuts to Fry and the chicken lawyer guy is on there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And I love that they didn't leave anybody out.
Yeah.
They took time to get Scruffy.
Yeah, Scruffy. Yeah, my stuff goes everywhere.
Oh my gosh. You got Scruffy for just a brief moment in a couple of the in both episodes. You got Hermes coming in. We get Calculon. And
Robot Devil.
Yeah, the Robot Devil. And the other thing I like is that they're doing it much like the previous series, in that each episode will kind of revolve around somebody.
Yeah.
It's kind of somebody's story.
Yeah.
This one, the first episode, at first it seems like it's Fry's story, but it's really Leela's story.
Yes.
Leela, trying to help Fry fulfill his grand goal. The story revolves around Leela trying to make that happen. And then, we've got the second episode. Well, the second episode revolves around Kif and Amy.
Yeah.
So and that's something that they've done forever in the show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I expect we're probably going to get a Professor Farnsworth focused story at some point. We're probably going to get a Hermes story at some point. Hermes and his wife. She's one of the few people we haven't seen yet. I mean, we get Amy's parents in the second episode.
Exactly.
I'm
waiting for Roberto.
Well, technically, we had Roberto.
Really?
Did you? You got to look really close.
Really?
But on the TV, let me pull up the TV shot again. On the TV, the upper right hand corner, that is Roberto.
Oh yeah,
and it is the clamp maid's tail.
Now, was that Roberto or was that the gangster clamp?
Oh, I thought that was Roberto.
No, Roberto is the one, the psycho with the knife.
With the knife.
Yeah,
you're right.
Knife.
I'm sorry. You're right. Clamps is,
and then
is
you got
on here.
Clamps, from the,
they're usually related though. They all seem to revolve around the same.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen, you're right. We haven't seen Roberto yet. We haven't seen the robot preacher yet.
That's right. We haven't seen Mom.
We have not seen Mom.
No.
But I believe I heard there's supposed to be a Mom episode. I think I read that somewhere.
Yeah.
And we already know the next 2 episodes, How the West Was 10100001 is the next episode up. And then we have Parasites Regained, and it's going to be a Nibbler episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not sure exactly where that's going, but it from the synopsis, it looks like we're going to get kind of an Amazing Voyage storyline. Do you remember that show, that movie from the 60s?
Oh yeah,
they shrink down in a space in a submarine, and they get shot into somebody's arm, and they have to go, kill some brain thing in order to save somebody's life. I think it's going to kind of be like that, based on what the synopsis. But the next episode, the How the West Was 10100001, is going to be about Bitcoin.
Interesting.
Bitcoin mining.
Yeah.
But it's going to be in an Old West gold rush style setting.
Well, that would be fun.
That could be fun. So my guess is that one's going to be more of a Bender episode, because Bender tends to be the one trying to,
Oh, I can, and we want Morbo. Morbo has to be back.
Yes,
King Morbo, the leader.
Yep.
Yeah. So many things. That's what I love about this show. It's such a rich of resources. So yeah, I'm so glad that they're back. And
was there anything that you were disappointed in, or that you feel like isn't quite right?
It's almost like I just kind of felt like it's kind of like seeing a friend you haven't seen forever, and when you get together, it's like you never missed a beat, know, and that's how I felt.
I felt like that quite a bit. The only thing, and this is super nitpicky, the only thing I will say is Amy's voice is a little weird to me.
Is it?
But I think it's because she may have been the youngest voice actor
of the group,
on the cast.
Okay. Yeah.
So when she aged 10 years, it was more apparent than
the others.
Somebody who was already, in their 40s, who's now in their 50s. There's not as much change as somebody who may have been in maybe her mid 20s or late 20s, who's now in her late 30s, almost 40.
Yeah, I see it now.
So
I'm on his IMDb and I'm taking a look. Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Now, I'm not saying that, and I don't know that this is an age-related thing, but when I hear her voice, I think it doesn't sound quite as the same as everybody else's. Everybody else's voice seems spot on to me. Her voice seems a little odd.
I think her voice seems like it's mellowed out a little bit. It's not as high pitched, or maybe that's what it is.
Yep. So, and it could be an age thing. It could be that she's, had some throat issues or something, and it's not even a huge deal.
Yeah. And
it didn't really bother me. I just thought, she sounds different. But I didn't think about that for anybody else.
Yeah, I didn't either. And I didn't think about it until you mentioned it. It didn't really dawn on me. But
that's always bug you forever.
Now it's bugging me forever. But that's true. Voice actors, just as they mature, voices change like singers do.
Absolutely.
And so it just happens. Especially if there's just a discrepancy, just like, someone comes in their 20s and they're doing a voice, and then, maybe, they're in their 30s or mid 40s, and it just kind of changes. But
yeah.
But
well,
no,
I was going to say another thing I really liked was we're going to continue the odd side stories that have no relevance to the rest of the story.
Yes.
Like the honey candy.
Yes.
It had no real bearing on the rest of the story.
No, it didn't.
But it was there for a few minutes, and you thought that was going to be the story, but it definitely is not.
It definitely wasn't. Yeah, because I totally thought that was,
And they're not shy of dealing with some semi-heavy issues.
Yeah.
Even though they're going to do it in a weird and comedic way. The idea that, my kids like somebody else better than they like me.
Yeah.
That can be a heavy subject. Well, they handle it in kind of a fun way.
Yeah, they do.
But it's kind of serious at the same time.
Yeah.
And then we have, Professor Farnworth dying on a regular basis.
Yes. But, that's normal, right?
Nothing new here. Nothing to see here.
I thought it was kind of funny because there wasn't as much Bender as normally you would expect in the Futuramas. Usually Bender is all up in it.
He's pretty heavy in the first episode. Because we're dealing with Calculon, and
that's right.
He goes in and he's the
writer. Yes.
But I know what you're saying. Like I said, the first episode's really a Leela episode.
Yeah.
The second episode is an Amy episode.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get more Bender in this next episode.
I'm sure we are.
I just feel like, well, especially since it has binary in the title.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I think this will be. I'm pretty sure this will be a Bender episode.
Yes. Oh, I'm really looking forward to it, and it's fascinating. I wonder if they're going to get, because I'm looking at IMDb and I'm just looking at just the the cast and all these people that was Leonard Nimoy was in it, Lucy Liu, Coolio, Stephen Hawkins, and it makes me wonder if, of course, those who've rest in peace are no longer with us, but those who were, who are still around, may come back as a jarhead, or new people,
or I was going to say, or people that weren't famous back then, who are the new people that are going to show up now. Are we going to get, is Elon Musk going to show up as a head?
Yes, that's true. That's true. It could be.
And now that they're attached to Disney, Could they get some,
Yeah.
can we get some Disney actor or like, Bob Iger could show up as a head sometime. Now,
Yeah,
I
they
will
could push
say
around his
they
head, yeah.
did, they make fun
They
of
made him.
Hulu because Hulu is where they're at.
Yes.
You notice they didn't make fun of Disney yet.
No, they didn't make fun of Disney yet.
Although technically they're owned by Disney.
Yeah, I give them
And
time.
Internationally, the show is on Disney Plus, not on Hulu.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, in the US, it's on Hulu, not on Disney Plus. Internationally, it's on Disney Plus.
So, do they understand what Fulu is?
I don't know.
I mean, that makes me wonder, do they know? Does that make any sense to them? Or does it matter? I don't know.
I don't know how they're not going to. At some point, he has to make fun of Disney.
He has to.
I just don't know when or how.
Yeah.
And he's got to get it, get it approved.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy. There you go. You can have Kathleen Kennedy show up.
Oh, well, yeah.
As head.
As a head. And take her
I don't even know who else could they even have?
They could probably have, the Simpsons in a head, I'm trying to think of some other people that would be really great for that. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
That shows our age. We're thinking too much of, Ben Affleck. I don't know. He may have been our.
There you go.
I don't know. No, he may not be new enough. Chris Pine, maybe. I don't know.
Yes, Chris Pine.
You see
Chris Pine could show up. Gal Gadot.
Yes.
Obviously all this happened. It was done before the writer's strike.
Yes.
So, I just don't know who would be available and who would they want to get.
Exactly.
Like the Odd Duck they got the Beastie Boys back in the day.
Yeah, it was odd. Yeah.
It was an odd choice. Why did they? But they really wanted, they went after the Beastie Boys to get them on an episode. So who would they go after today? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Because we don't have any standouts currently.
I can't think of any. No, at least,
in the 2 episodes we've had so far, we don't really have any new famous people. We had Nixon. Nixon's kind of the.
That was it.
But Nixon is voice cast by somebody. It's not like we have a real Nick. Real Nixon.
I could be really afraid if we did. But yeah. That is just so funny.
To it. I'm super happy. I'm super pleased. It does feel it feels like Futurama, which is honestly all I wanted.
The same with me. That's all I wanted. I didn't. If it's feels like the previous shows, then that's all I care about. Stay true to the characters, and I was so glad that they just continued the story. They just didn't drop it, and people just didn't forget, have amnesia, and go, "Oh, what happened all these years?" I'm really glad they went the direction they're going. So, hopefully, we'll see some more of it pretty soon. We'll see some binary.
Well, I'm also glad that they stuck with the original art style.
I do too.
They didn't try to update it and make it some new thing.
No, and they kept the intro. I like how they kept the intro. Kept it.
I actually watched a little breakdown. So there are some minor tweaks.
Mm-hmm.
But they're super minor.
Yeah.
But they're like there's a couple of buildings in the background that weren't in the original, but they exist in universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mom's Mom's building is apparently in there now, and it didn't used to be.
Wasn't. Yeah.
But Mom's building exists and has a look, so it's in there.
Yeah.
The other one is the Vampire State Building, which is the building Fry falls from in the last episode.
Yeah.
So apparently now it is in the intro.
It's in the intro.
Yeah.
Nice
touch. And a couple of different people are in the tube.
In the tube, yeah.
Were in the past.
I was trying to watch the tubes, see who was in the tubes. So
yeah, but nothing huge changed there. But it's like characters that are in the show on a regular that were never in the tubes in the past are now in the tubes. Just nice touch.
I always like the quotes in the front of the show. They make the the Futurama, and they have the whatever saying they have for each show. I'm always waiting for the next one to come out. So yeah.
What else was there? The breakdown guy that I was reading was he was super happy that they brought back the old cartoon bit in the trailer, in the intro. You have the big TV and you have the old black and white cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
It was in there in the first few seasons.
Yes.
But then later on, they shortened the intro and they got rid of that.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So now they've put it back.
I like that. I like that. I do too. Something retro about it.
Yeah.
I'm happy the way it's going. Like I said, this I look forward. I'm glad that we have something to look forward to every week to watch,
Yep. We're not, by the way, we are not going to do a play-by-play for Futurama.
No, this is not.
Maybe in 8 weeks, we'll do a final wrap-up and see if we still
feel the same way. Yeah.
Still feel the same way.
Yeah.
If nothing else, we probably should at least touch on it in an episode.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's the full episode.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
But
no, same here.
I love it. Definitely, it is a show to watch. If you've never watched Futurama and you like The Simpsons or any of those kind of shows, and you like some sci-fi nerdiness, Futurama is something to check out.
Yeah, check it out. Go watch all 11 seasons, all 10 seasons, and then jump on board on 11 and the 2 new episodes. Yeah,
I'm looking. Is it Sunday? Does it come out Sundays?
Maybe it's Mondays. I thought it was on Sundays, but it seems like. Let's see here, folks. Let's find out, and let's see when does exactly new episodes come out.
It says August 6th, so.
August 6th is a Sunday. So that's right. So Sunday nights.
Yeah. Coming out on Sundays.
Yeah.
So
good deal.
Probably will be watching it Sunday.
I will be too. Put it on my calendar as a reminder on Sunday.
All my circuits.
All my circuits. That's right. I'm going to watch I'm going to binge every one of it. All my circuits. Well, I don't have anything else. I know that, folks, I know that we've got, a lot of stuff coming down the pike. We have Ahsoka coming up.
Yep.
We've got Loki around the bend. Just several different things that we're excited to see. Like I said, sometimes we will do a show by show depending on the show. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we'll, watch the first episode and go, should we do a full season of this?
Yeah, I'm sure here in about 3 weeks, we will definitely do the first episode of Ahsoka
on
the show.
Yes.
And make that determination as to whether or not that's where we're going to go.
Exactly. But anyway, I have nothing else for our fine audience, those who are listening and watching. And listening, that's right. We are on all types of podcast streaming services. That's right. We're on Spotify, on Apple, not on Sketcher anymore.
No Stitcher.
Yeah, Sketcher's
anymore.
The shoes. We're not on shoes. We're on not on Stitcher. So don't do Stitchers anymore.
Gosh.
But anyway, any of your favorite audio podcasts. Plus also we're on the YouTubes here too. So check us out, youtube.com/Speaking Nerdy. Also, you can check us out on speakingnerdy.com where we have all our stuff there. And anything else?
I don't have anything else, man.
I think we should spare these people any more of our talking, and let's go ahead and end this.
This has been the Speaking Nerdy podcast with your host, Mr. Mike Schilling. Hey.
And my Gungan Padre, Mr. Ricky Pope. I don't know what I just said.
Your Gungan partner.
My Gungan partner. We leave that. We can leave that. My Gungan partner. Oh my goodness. I must have watched The Phantom Menace or something. I don't know.